we've got some new scales to learn this year. So I thought we'd start with an overview, kind of a peek into what's coming this week. And by doing that, I think you're going to see that if you're identifying the scales, there's some real easy ways to either just immediately know what scale you're looking at or to narrow it down so you just have a couple of choices. And of course, you'll still have the major and the minor scales that will factor in during the exam. But this week, we're just going to cover those new scales, the ones we haven't seen before, and how to write them and how to identify them. So our first scale is the chromatic scale, and this one is probably one that you're familiar with if you do the Royal Conservatory of Music exams, because this is one that you would have been playing for a little while. It has 12 notes ascending plus the top tonic. So what that means is we have 12 different notes as we're going up the scale. Then it has that starting note again, and then might have a descending scale as well that you would either be looking at for identification or that you might have to write if you're writing on the exam. So the chromatic scale, just remember it's 12 notes ascending and then the top tonic. The next scale that you might have would be the octatonic scale, and this one is a little bit easier to remember because it's 8 notes ascending plus the top tonic. Of course, octa stands for 8. You can think of an octopus or an octagon, and that'll help you remember that 8 notes is an octatonic scale. The whole tone scale has 6 notes ascending plus the top tonic, and the blues scale also has 6 notes ascending plus the top tonic. So this would be one if you counted 6 notes and then your top tonic, you would know, oh, I have a little more research to do here. I'm going to have to look for some additional information to determine whether it's a whole tone scale or a blues scale. And we'll talk about how to do that in a module a little bit later this week. The pentatonic scale has 5 notes ascending plus top tonic. This is another one where you're going to have to make a choice because there's a pentatonic major that has a major third in it and a pentatonic minor, which, no surprise, has a minor third in it. So these are our new scales. So between these new ones that we're going to go over and the major and minor scales, those are your scales for this year where you might have to either write or identify the scale. So now we'll go ahead and move on to taking a deeper look at the chromatic scales.